Hello, everybody. Welcome to Amar's Game Chat. I hope you're all doing well and staying safe. I'm Amar, and today I just wanted to make this short little video talking about some of the Pokemon news that we got today, as we are 8 days away from the release of the Nintendo Switch 2, and the Pokemon Company decided to drop a plethora of new, two really big new announcements and new news pieces to talk about. So I just wanted to make this short little video talk about those two things. And yeah, so I hope you all enjoy this video. If you did not know about this news, please put down in the comments below about what you think of it. Even if you did hear about this news beforehand, put down in the comments below what you think about this news. Where's your excitement level on Pokemon Legends ZA? But yeah, let us get right into it. So yeah, as I mentioned, we are just 8 days, or now at this point, less than 8 days away from the release of the Nintendo Switch 2, and the Pokemon Company and Nintendo and Game Freak technically dropped some new news today, talking about Pokemon Legends ZA and a Pokemon Presents that will be happening in July. And yeah, so the news related to Pokemon Legends ZA is that they will be releasing Pokemon Legends ZA on October 16th, 2025 for both the Nintendo Switch and the Nintendo Switch 2 through a Nintendo Switch 2 edition. So they say on the website, Pokemon Legends ZA will be available to play on October 16th, 2025. And then they go into a little bit of specifics on the Nintendo Switch 2 edition. They said that Nintendo Switch 2 edition, in addition to the Nintendo Switch title, Pokemon Legends ZA, the Nintendo Switch 2 title, Pokemon Legends ZA Nintendo Switch 2 edition, will also be available. With the Nintendo Switch 2 edition, you can enjoy improved graphics and frame rates. If you own the Nintendo Switch title, Pokemon Legends ZA, you can upgrade it to the Nintendo Switch 2 edition by purchasing an upgrade pack, whether you own the digital or physical version of the software. The Nintendo Switch 2 edition will also be playable on the Nintendo Switch system. When playing the Nintendo Switch 2 edition version on the Nintendo Switch, the content will be the same as that of the Nintendo Switch software. Additional content that utilizes the specs of the Nintendo Switch 2 will not be included. And that's it. That is all the news that we really got on Pokemon Legends ZA. We also got a new artwork, the cover artwork for the physical editions and pretty much like the main artwork for the games. So you all have been looking at that this whole time. I hope, if I edited that properly. But yeah, it looks like a pretty cool artwork piece. You know, I'm gonna look at it right now. You know, I didn't have it up because I forgot to talk about that, but I do think it looks really cool. If I can pull it up. So actually, let me pause. Well, it won't be a pause for you all, but let me get the actual artwork. Yes, on the artwork we see a good amount of Pokemon. You know, we see a Mega Scizor. We see a bunch of Mega Pokemon. Mega Scizor, Mega Absol, Mega Lucario. I think that's Mega Gardevoir. That might be not Mega Gardevoir. That might be a regular Gardevoir. But we see those Megas. We see, obviously, the 3 starters in Totodile, Tepig, and Chikorita. We see a character holding a Pokeball. You know, that could be, like, the secret antagonist of the game. Or, I guess that could be our rivals that they showed off in the second trailer for Pokemon Legends ZA. I forgot their names. I could technically pull that up, too, now, I guess. But, you know, that could be our rival, technically. That could be Urban or Tawny. I think actually that might be Tawny, based on what Tawny's arm looks like in the artworks. That could be Tawny. And then we see a character in the background that I don't think we've been introduced to yet. But obviously they're on the cover. They're not just on this main artwork. They're on the actual cover of the game as well. So they're probably pretty important to how the game goes. And yeah, that is really all the artwork shows. Obviously, we see Lumio City here as well. We see some passerbyers in the background, but that's pretty much all we see. We see our main character. We see a bunch of new Pokemon. We see a Zygarde Cell, which interestingly enough, the Zygarde Cell doesn't actually end up on the covers of the game. You know, I'm not really sure what that's about, but it doesn't. You know, and I guess Arceus also was on the cover, Legends Arceus, so maybe that makes sense. But yeah, that is all we really have on Legends CA right now. But we are bound to get more news very soon because the Pokemon Company also announced alongside this new release date that they'll be hosting a Pokemon Presents in July, more specifically on July 22nd, 2025 at 9 a.m. PT, 6 a.m. PT, 9 a.m. ET. And we don't really know much about this Presents yet. Normally, we don't really know much about the Presents until we actually get very close to the date. And in theory, we don't really usually know until they upload like the YouTube premiere, and then we find out like the runtime for it, and then maybe once in a while they'll put like a little hashtag in the description so we find out when mobile games might show up. But we don't really know much more about it right now. All we know is that there is a Pokemon Presents on July 22nd, 2025, and we will most definitely see a new trailer for Pokemon Legends ZA in there. But time will tell if we see a new Legends ZA trailer before the Presents. But yeah, that is all the Pokemon news that we got today. You know, I guess I reiterated a lot at the beginning of the video. We are 8 days away from the release of the Nintendo Switch 2 at the time of this news dropping. So, you know, it's starting to feel pretty real. You know, we are getting a Nintendo Switch 2 version of Legends ZA that does have, you know, some pretty substantial improvements, I'm assuming. We saw it in the Direct for the Switch 2 as well, but we are getting really close. It's starting to feel really real. I will have a video out tomorrow talking about some of my, you know, last minute thoughts and last minute predictions, I guess. You know, we will be getting a Direct in June, but we'll be talking a little about that and everything. But yeah, you know, and we're about to have our first Pokemon Presents of the Nintendo Switch 2 era right after the release of Donkey Kong Bonanza. And yeah, you know, and then Pokemon Legends ZA is not that far off in October. So, which interestingly enough, it is releasing exactly 4 days after X and Y released in 2013. So maybe they're like trying to replicate like the October release dates between X and Y and Legends ZA. I doubt they'll ever, maybe they'll talk about that in the Presents. Maybe they'll be like, this game also released in October. This game's also released in October, you know, maybe. But, yeah, you know, I don't really have much more to say. You know, the Pokemon Center is also selling a bunch of new Mega Evolution merch. So if you're very interested in that, you can go to the Pokemon Center website in the US, Canada, or the UK. And I'm assuming probably all over the world. Wherever you order your Pokemon merch from, there's probably gonna be some new Pokemon Mega Evolution merch. But yeah, that is all the news really for now. Again, I'll have a video out later tomorrow, just talking about, you know, we're a week away from the release of the Nintendo Switch 2. You know, talking a little bit more about the console itself. But yeah, that is all I have for you all today. So I hope you all enjoyed this kind of longer video. I didn't expect it to be 8 minutes long, but that's just what happens when I start rambling a little bit. But yeah, if you're excited for One Legends ZA, please feel free to talk about your excitement down in the comments below. I would love to have a discussion with you all. But without further ado, I hope you all do what makes you happy, because I hope you all do what makes you happy, because that rhymes with my old name, Generic Cappy, and I will see you next one. So yeah, hope you all have a great day. Goodbye.